Hi everyone and welcome. I'm Diane and my passion is painting and creating nature-inspired watercolours in my studio, which are easy for you to do too. I share all my paintings with you on YouTube, and on our website dianeantone.com you can find free downloadable sketches for all the videos to help you make the most of your painting journey. And if you'd like a little bit more, we also have channel memberships with loads of perks for you to enjoy. So welcome on board, click subscribe and turn on notifications, and let's learn to paint watercolour. Hi everyone, today I really need a warm-up. I haven't painted anything properly for about 3 weeks because I've been on a little bit of a holiday to England and also haven't been well. So I'm back now and I need a warm-up that's going to take the stress away. So I've got my big palette here, my butcher's tray with my easy to access paints all around. I've got another small palette here, another ceramic one divided into 8 sections with basic colours in, plus turquoise and so on, and a few natural colours over there as well. So I'm going to paint some flowers because they are the easiest thing to do, and I'm going to use plenty of water. The cat hasn't drunk all of it yet. It's clean anyway, so we'll just pop that in there, and I'll put there's my water over there. I use those big preserving jars. I'm just going to bring the camera down. I've got a sheet of Etival paper here, which is by Clairefontaine. It's 100% cellulose and it's perfectly okay for messing around, and that's what we're going to do today. So let's get started on that. And it's not going to be anything terribly, thought out in advance. I'm going to sit down and I'm going to pick up my favourite colours and see where we go. So here's a little bit of Quinacridone Gold. When you put paint on paper, it's best if you just let it do its own thing and don't fiddle with it too much. So lay it on in the design that you feel you want. And don't rub it in. You're not polishing the living room furniture. You're not. So do that and then just have fun letting things meld. I'm just mixing in a little bit of, I think that was olive green, which I've mixed with a little bit of quinacridone, and I'm going to allow it to do its thing around here. Maybe I'll bring out some little leaflets around the bottom there to make it look less artificial, perhaps. So just bring those out gently. I'm playing here. Bear with me. Let's do a leaf or two. I don't let myself play enough. I'm too serious. I've been told that many times by many people, and I think it's probably true. I am a serious person and I don't play enough. I used to hate going to parties, still do, don't like them. Sorry, I know a lot of people do. It's not my thing. So anyway, I'm not going to talk about me because I'm boring. So there's some nice experiences with leaves there. I'll just rinse that out a little bit. I'm not sure whether I want to put, maybe I want to put a little bit of a nice burnt sienna, if I can find it. Ooh, aim on burnt sienna. Burnt sienna is here. I tell you, when you leave your brushes and your paints alone and you don't do anything for a bit, you can suddenly realise, well, it's not really quite like riding a bike. Not quite. So now, as always, when you do wet in wet, you will lose a lot of the colour because it all spreads out, always. So you have to take that into consideration. So add a little bit more there, and we'll leave that to do its thing, whatever its thing might be. We don't know yet. I mean, you could, well, actually, what I might do, considering, I think I might, let me see if I can find a pen and some ink, because I like doing this. This is burnt sienna. It's brown. I don't know what it's going to look like. I haven't used it for a while, I've forgotten. So put that there. I'll grab a piece of paper to try it out on, just to see what sort of colour it is. And that's quite nice. It's not too dark, is it? So let's see what happens when we drop some of that in. It will run. And some people might say at this point, oh, I liked it before, but that's not the point. I'm just doing something, so I don't sit around moping. No matter whether you like it or not, just do it. You never know where it's going to go, do you? If you put a strong line into wet paint, you'll get a darker line emerging as the paint runs into the dip that you've just created. So that's always fun. So you can, no ink on the pen, just put in the veins like that, if you want. And you could squiggle around a little bit, break it up a little bit. Okay, I'll leave that for the moment. I don't know where we're going, but I'm sure we'll be able to get home afterwards. Okay, what about some red? Or some pink? What about nice, simple, and not worrying about making it look like a rose? That always gives me a fit to the heebie-jeebies. Heebie-jeebies not allowed at the moment. And then I want some dark purple. So I've just picked up a little bit of, I think that's neutral tint. Could have been Payne's Grey, could have been black, could have been indigo. Could use anything really, anything dark. Mixed it a little bit with the red. So that makes me think, oh, I think I might make a little stem here and have that coming out. And if I do that, then we can have another one coming down here, can't we? Just need to clean my brush a bit. I'm using a size 11 Drawwell round nylon brush. I like the Drawwell brushes from Japan, but any round nylon brush will do. So I'm just going to turn that round the other way so I get the same sort of effect down here. Because if I do it upside down, it won't be the same. I don't want it exactly the same. Make it a bit smaller. And back again, a bit more of my neutral tint. Now, while that's still wet, we can drop in some little bits of darker, just to give it some more shape. This one's still drying. We'll see how that all ends up. Now, shall I put another red one in? What shall I do now? Shall I put another, maybe I need another yellow one. Okay. I think, bearing in mind what I said about the colour bleeding into itself and losing a will to live, we'll just drop in a bit more red and let that do its thing. Maybe turquoise. What do we think about that? Not so sure about that, I think. Maybe we should have some little brownish leaves. Here, we'll just come in with some nice leaves to match the stem here. And you can see how, well, I suppose what I'm doing is building up a composition, and you don't have to have a composition planned out in advance, especially once you've had a little bit of experience. You can try, you know, letting it go with the flow sort of thing a little bit. Just build it up as you go along. I'll grab my pen again and a bit more ink. And oh, that's exciting. Look at that. Did you see that? That just, whee, look at that. Now that's the sort of happy accident that you didn't expect, which is very cool. Oh yes, that's cool. Is it not cool? Is that cool or is that not cool? Wow. Okay. And I think we'll go back to the yellow, actually. I think I'll go back to Quinacridone Gold. And we'll put, maybe we'll put one over here. I don't know, where should we put it? Okay, don't think too hard. It always goes wrong. And then we had some olive green. Just grow the stem out here a little bit, maybe. And then maybe, hello Lottie. Sorry for the table shaking, that's my dog coming in. So we'll just grow that up there a little bit, and then I can put some more of those nice big leaves in. Hello, Zen. And then it's pretty evident now, isn't it, that I have to have another one of these up here. No idea what kind of plant that might be. It doesn't matter, it's a Dianamum. You know, it's like a chrysanthemum, but more rare. Okay, and then I'm going to go back to the red. We'll put a little more red one up here, just a small one in the distance, perhaps. And of course we'll need some kind of a support. Probably want another red one up here, but we'll make it a bit darker. I think it's time to do a bit of pen work. When you use one of these dip pens, when you press harder, you get more ink coming out. So you get interesting effects like that. The thing with this kind of painting is you just need to start and then go your own way. You could call this abstract. It's not really abstract. It's loose, very loose. It's not abstract because you can look at it and you say, oh yeah, that looks more or less like a flower. A little bit like a flower. More like a flower than it does a fire engine anyway. Probably you would agree. Often when you start, of course, you aren't necessarily terribly pleased with your first bits. So I'm just going to loosen that up a bit there because I think that didn't go very well. So just add a bit of water, push it around a little bit. And then I'll let that dry and that'll be better. Right, okay, so maybe we put a little bit more red on that, perhaps. Okay, so let's maybe draw in some berries. Which we will then colour in a second. And it's a bit tricky because it's wet now. So anyway, so we'll put a leaf in here. Make the berries a sort of dark red, shall we? I always like my berries to be dark. Might need a slightly smaller brush for some of this. I'm holding the pen a long way back so that my hand shakes a little bit. I'm not worried about having absolute control because I want the I want it to be loose, not tight. So hold the brush or the pen at least halfway back, really. I'll put a couple more berries here. I don't know what kind of plant this is, but it's got berries. And they're reddish. That's purple, that's Quinacridone mauve, violet in Quinacridone purple, or Windsor violet, something like that, mixed with a bit of red. And what I'm showing you here really is all sorts of different techniques for keeping your painting as loose as you possibly can. And as it starts to fade down, then you're going to put thicker paint in to give yourself some stronger colours. It has to be thicker, otherwise it just bleeds into what's underneath. So just don't add so much water to it. Same paint, just don't add so much water to it and put it on kind of so it has some body. Don't try to construct petals though, just put it on where you want to put it on, and I'm going to come back to this one here and do the same. Oh yes, I shouldn't have washed that out, I should have come over here. because we've started to put berries here, we have to put more berries elsewhere, otherwise it looks strange if you just have it in one place. Lottie, what are you looking for? Okay, oops. I want this to stay fairly clean, so this is not going to be something that I'm going to put spatter on, because I want it to, as I say, remain fairly clean. So I'm not sure if I want to put any veins on those leaves either. Let's put a little bit more dark on the stem coming up here. No, I probably won't. Let me think. I think I'm going to let it dry at this point, because it will be lighter when it's done, and then I'll be able to decide if I need to do anything else. Having got to this point, I don't know what to do next. So I've got a piece of tracing paper, and I'm going to try out a couple of ideas. Not sure if they're good ideas or not. And so if I do it on top of tracing paper first, then I can decide whether or not it is. So I'm just putting in some, I've got a Sigma gel pen here, a white one, and I'm just putting in some lines on there to see what that looks like. And I think that might actually be worth a try. So we'll come in and actually do it, just to kind of sharpen up the shape of these petals in front. And if you don't like what you've done with this pen, actually you can wash it off, but it will start to spoil then the whole overall effect. So it's not something to sort of do too carelessly. So we'll do the same up here then. It doesn't have to really mean anything. It's just a manner of speaking, so to speak. Then maybe we might want to do something similar on here. I'm not quite sure. I think I might leave. I think that one needs a bit of effort, a bit of attention. Yeah, just a little bit. Just a little bit. Okay, and then the next thing I'm thinking about doing, and I might just as easily have not done that. The next thing I'm thinking about doing is to increase the number of berries a little bit. So I'll just take my lid off my ink. This is a Sennelier ink, by the way. It's a watercolour ink, but it is, I think, pretty much waterproof. We just need a few more down here, so that they're kind of scattered around a little bit. I'm going to put some more leaves in a minute too. So we don't want that many. Notice we've got some berries on the holly today. We'll have to start thinking about Christmas, won't we, if the holly berries are starting to come. And now I think I might do some pale, some light, really light, washed out leaves in the background. I'm going to move that out the way for a second and just pick up some some greens, and I want my greens to be sort of dirty, greyish green. So we're kind of just sort of put the extra leaves in the background kind of thing. It's always the way, isn't it? When you haven't been well and you come back to what you were doing before, you go back to work or you start painting again after a break, you sort of, you don't feel quite yourself, do you? And you don't really know what you're doing. You kind of get out of the swing of things, but you can't avoid it. If you're going to be ill, you're going to be ill, and that's all there is to it. And you just have to plough through and somehow get to the other side of whatever it is. So, as long as we're breathing, we can paint, right? We don't give up easily, do we? It's that song by, what was it? The Tide is High. I'm not the kind of girl who gives up just like that. I always thought that was a great line. I never give up, never give up. And another one, Barbara Collins, was it? I will never give up. Yeah. Too much giving up these days, too much saying, oh, it's too hard, it's too difficult, can't cope. Whatever, shut up, Diane, don't go down that road. Negativity will kill. Okay, so we filled in some of those gaps. I'm still trying to keep it a little bit light. And I think I don't want to embellish this one. Don't want to put gold on it. Don't want to make it really dark. Maybe I might put, I don't know. I'm just wasting time now. I need to go in and do lunch and I'm putting it off. I think I just did a little bit more line work. There's one leaf over here that's annoying me. I need to go around it. I don't know whether I like that, really. It's too dark. What happened to my paper? Oh, yes, I used it to mop up some water. I was watering the plants while I was waiting for the painting to dry, and I stole my paper. That's better. It's lighter. I think I'm sort of feeling that this ink is a bit too dark. Never mind. Not a problem. One thing that people often do when they've got a painting that they've done and they're not terribly pleased with it is they tend to go back to the bits they don't like and work on them more. But actual fact, the bits you don't like are the bits you should leave alone, really, because you'll only make them more obvious. So if there's a leaf, a petal on here or a flower on here I'm not happy with, I'm going to leave it alone. When other people see your work, they don't notice the things that you notice and are stressing over. They just look at the overall. If you're lucky and anyone looks at them at all. By the way, I should mention while I'm finishing this off, because I haven't finished it yet, membership. We'd be very happy for you to join either Patreon or the YouTube membership for just a couple of dollars a month. It's very helpful to us because it supports us in what we're doing. It's our only real form of income, me and Tamsin, and it really helps us carry on with this, because if you weren't doing that, then we'd have to go out and get real jobs, wouldn't we? And that would never do, would it? So If you can spare a couple of dollars a month and join the membership at the lowest level, even is I think £2 or $2 or €2, it's all the same now, then we would be very grateful. You get a few perks in return. But the main purpose of the membership, and I do want to emphasize this, is because it supports us in what we do. You know, YouTube is great, but it's very unpredictable, and we have good months and bad months, all of us do. And at the moment, because of the economic uncertainty, I'm sure you understand, I think probably most of us creators of different types, perhaps except the ones that are doing advice for how to save money, or what to do with your investments, they're probably doing really well. But at the moment, a lot of creativity channels, I think, are a bit quiet. And advertising has gone down a bit and all that. So if you can stretch to joining as a member, you get some extra videos, you get some extra content. And I, myself, personally, am always at your beck and call. If you have a question or anything to ask, you can always contact me, and I'll prioritize you. All the members are prioritized for that kind of thing. And of course, you know that we offer you as well an unlimited access to all of the, the sketches that we have on our website, which is like hundreds, like 400, I think. And you can download as many of them as you want for free if you're a member. We restrict people who aren't members. We ask them to restrict themselves to 10 a week. But if you are a member, you can have as many as you like. Then there's the colouring books that we have. And I know people who run little businesses are taking our sketches and using them to make greetings cards and other products that they're selling. And that's fine. I don't have a problem with that at all. You can do what you like with my work. Better, more. The light of day it sees, the better as far as I'm concerned. So, you know, there's a good resource for you if you happen to like my work. So, yeah, please join. Or if you don't like the commitment, but you want to support us, just pop a couple of dollars in the tip jar on the website, dianeantone.com. So I'm going to leave that at that now and call it a day and go and do lunch. And I will see you again soon. So bye for now, everybody. Bye-bye.